Hello everyone, I'm here to show you the assembly of this Viking SwiveLift receiver mounted loading platform I just had delivered. Specifically one aspect of the assembly that a lot of users have complained about. It's a pretty simple assembly. All in all, there's just one step that requires a little bit of extra dexterity that a lot of folks are having trouble with. The assembly instructions, step 3 specifically, shows how to attach the hand wrench to the column tube, and it mentions something about the washer and lock nut should be inside the tube, as if any fool should be able to do that with ease. But once you actually try to do this, you understand that it takes either freakishly long fingers or a miniature or some kind of magic to get this thing done. So I have an alternate solution that I think will help. So the problem we're trying to solve here is attaching this winch to this column using the provided nuts and bolts. But it gets tricky when you want to put the bolts in this end, but then somehow get the nut and washer up through this end aligned perfectly with this hole so you can attach the winch. The second bolt that has to be attached is pretty easy to reach. You just have to hold the nut and the washer here secure with one hand while you attach the winch and the bolt on the other side. But it's tough to get this second one because it's so far, and you have to align the nut and the washer. So there needs to be some sort of tool or gadget that lets you put the nut and washer in place while you position the winch and the bolt on top of it. So I've come up with a solution that uses the packing cardboard that comes in the box, an X-Acto knife or some other kind of cutting implement, and some Scotch tape. That's it. I'll show you. So the opening on this receiver tube is about 1 3/4 inches. So what I wanted to do is get some sort of surface that I could insert into that tube with the nut and washer oriented on there, and then hold it in place while I put the winch on top. So what I did is I cut a piece of cardboard that's about 1.5 inches in width, and the idea is to put the nut and washer on there, slide it in, and then hold it in place while I attach the winch. But it's still tricky because it tends to move around while you're sliding it in. So I took a knife and I carved a little groove in here that's got some depth to it, and it's about the same size. It's actually really close to the same size as the nut. So the next step is to place the nut in that little depression. But then you also have to get the washer on there aligned, and as you can see, it slides around quite easily. So I needed to attach it. That's where the Scotch tape comes in. So I tore off a piece of tape. I positioned the washer on top of the nut. I taped it in place. And now I can slide it in, line it up exactly, and then hold it in place while I position the winch and the bolt. So now I've inserted the cardboard with those pieces attached. I'm going to take the winch, place it on top, line it up exactly. And now, by holding the cardboard up flush inside the tube, I can simply screw in the bolts. And then you just pull the cardboard out, and the tape may or may not come with it, but you can easily stick your finger up in there and pull the tape out. So now it's attached. The second one is much easier because it's close. You can just hold it up there with your finger. Anyway, seems pretty useful. I hope others can take advantage of this. Thanks.
So I just want to show a quick video of something I'm noticing that is, I'm going to call it a design flaw with this lift. As you can see, we're using it to, we need to be able to lift our son's wheelchair in and out of my pickup bed. His chair weighs about 100 pounds, so it's well underneath the weight limit. But I'm going to try to move in a little closer. As you can see this lip that is created. Make sure you have hold of the crank well. Make sure you have hold of the crank well, because if you let go of this handle, it's going to start free spinning. Okay? So anyways, as you can see, as I turn it down, once it hits that lip, as you can see, it stops. And the tension is off the cable, so it stops. It doesn't go down any further, and the only way to make it go down further, I'm going to try to do this with one hand, is I need to lift up on the lifting plat. And there, as you can see, because I didn't have my hand on the cable handle, it just was free spinning all the way down. So not too impressed with this device. I think it's way overpriced. Sorry, manufacturer, or whoever is selling this thing. I just personally don't. I think it's way overpriced for what it is. I think there's some potential safety issues. All the videos show them lifting products up into the tailgate or into the truck bed, but I didn't see any products of getting the stuff down. And this is the issue I'm seeing. And once again, as you can see, this little lip right there. Like I said, not super impressed with it. Not sure if we're going to keep it or just return it and try something else. You do have to hang on to